The 2006 Qatar World Health Survey and the 2007 Global Youth Tobacco Survey indicated that 42% of men smoke, and this especially among young adult men. As for women, it indicates that 5% smoke, with an increasing percentage of women over 50 who reported smoking cigarettes. Our vaccinations are very good, and I don't think we need to bore you with that. The other area we're working very closely on is the health promotion issue. As I said, we believe strongly that we should be reaching into the community and into the homes to promote health. We're looking at several examples around the world. I think there are countries which have done really some very good good work and have actually reversed trends in lifestyle issues and lifestyle problems. And this is what we're trying to do. And the idea really is to create a body that does nothing but work on health promotion. We have the facts, now we need to really go out into the society and do something about it. Again, I'm going to skip quickly over this. Okay. The two strategies I will tell you about now, in addition to, of course, several other things we're working on, is our mental health strategy. We know that there's a lot of interest today in mental health issues, and we heard also earlier today about the rising incidence of mental illness and neuropsychiatric illness. And we in Qatar are now doing two things. First of all, we're looking at a national plan to prevent or to address mental health, and we're going to provide the mental health facilities from the community, primary care, all the way up to a tertiary or a state-of-the-art psychiatric facility. And we're putting in the policies necessary for that. And the other area we're working on, of course, is cancer, and we know that we need a holistic approach, a holistic strategy for cancer. Again, there needs to be there is some work already done. We have an Al-Amal Center, we have a national committee that works on cancer, but I don't think we have a complete strategy that addresses this issue from prevention all the way up to cure. And this is what we're working on at the moment. Our infrastructure, again, is a bit boring. The focus that we're putting on primary care, if I don't know if anybody's in tune to what's happening in Qatar over the past, in the beginning of this month, we had a very important primary care conference. We hosted a conference that was to celebrate 30 years of the Al-Ma'ata of primary care, and it was the regional conference, and we had the Doha Declaration, which focused basically on reforming primary care, and it elaborated on the basic fundamental standards of the Al-Ma'ata. So we have a lot of emphasis on primary care with all its, the community care, making sure that you have a healthy population, and involving your community in self-care. And of course, you have the secondary and the tertiary care. What we need to reach is a personal health care, exactly as we heard this morning, where you look at the individuals, and especially in Qatar, this applies, I think, in contrast to many other countries where you have sort of more of a uniform population. In Qatar, the population is very diverse, it's very different, and hence their healthcare needs are very different. And that's why I think we should start very soon at looking at personalizing our healthcare system. Okay. Biomedical research in Qatar, what is our role? Our role as an organization is not to actually dive into detailed biomedical research, but we see ourselves as the maestro or the conductor. We just need to make sure that everybody's singing the same tune. We know that the resources in Qatar, not the financial ones, but the human resources in Qatar are quite limited. And that's why we have to make sure that there's no overlap, and that everybody's singing to the same tune. So what we do is to develop and implement health research policies and guidelines. We establish the national health research priorities, and we encourage new research strategies and approaches at basic clinical and translational levels. And we need to train new leaders who will contribute or constitute the professional workforce and intellectual resources of Qatar and ultimately the whole region. Our policy aims to develop and implement regulations and practices reflective of the needs to perform world-class and state-of-the-art biomedical research by creating and implementing ethical guidelines and policies to protect and promote the safety of human subjects involved in research, creating and implementing policy on human care and use of laboratory animals in research, and supporting educational programs and monitoring compliance with these policies. We've set up or in the process of setting up an advisory committee at the national level, and the members have expertise in varied disciplines, including clinical and translation investigations, mechanistic studies, legal affairs, of course, religious and philosophical sciences. We found these people to be very, very important in our society because they will really lead the way in the ethical issues. Social and behavioral sciences, practicing clinicians and nurses, and of course the lay public. Guided by international regulations and the local social and cultural environments, duties of the committee will include to establish the ethical rules and guidelines and to protect human subjects involved in research. They will be providing policy and guidance from what was previously known the National Health Authority, and we'll soon have a new name for it. The promotion of the safety of human subjects involved in research, and the provision of world-class respected knowledge and credibility for the scientific, social, and ethical responsibility in clinical research involving human subjects in Qatar. I think also this was touched on earlier this morning. This is what we're doing. The research agenda is designed to provide guidance for research and training programs that will lead to national and international successes in biomedical research, by devising a strategic plan whose goals and challenges reflect fostering the successive movement of scientific discovery from form to function, function to causes, and causes to cures. Again, I think in the interest of time, I'm going to skip these details. We are very keen on working in partnership, and we know that there are several stakeholders who are very important partners to us. And of course, as you see, these include researchers, professional societies, voluntary health organizations, patient advocacy groups, community organizations, foundations. Of course, all of these, I mean, I'm not claiming that these are already in place in Qatar. These organizations and stakeholders are at different levels of their development. We wish to see them become more active and more involved with us, but we're certainly looking forward to working with them. I hope I've given you a brief overview that would be of interest to you. I didn't dive into any details that would be too far away from your interests. So thank you.